What's going on, everybody? And today I'm going to be predicting the entire 2026 FIFA World Cup from the group stages all the way to the final. I will also be talking about dark horses and players to watch out for this summer at the World Cup. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And first up, we have Group A. Now, for each of the teams that the fourth team isn't decided on, like it's this playoff spot, I'm just going to assume that the highest ranked team will win that spot. So, it's looking like it's probably going to be Denmark. Even though I know Ireland's been going crazy recently. Obviously, Troy Parrott got a hat trick. I know by now that's been a while ago, but yeah, the highest ranked team is Denmark, so I think they'll be the fourth team in that group. Obviously, South Korea has been ever present in the World Cup of the last three tournaments, and they've got top players like Heung-min Son. But if I'm going to be honest, I think South Africa are actually going to top the group. Yes, they may not have big name players like Heung-min Son, and they may not have as many players playing at elite European clubs as the other nations in the group. But they dominated African qualifying, and they even got a points deduction for fielding an unregistered ineligible player. And yeah, so I think South Africa will finish first. I mean, I'm interested to see where they rank worldwide right now. Honestly, world rank of 60 is pretty low for them. I mean, you can look at their last fixtures, 3 out of 5, but I believe out of these games, one of their big players was out. Like, they weren't able to register one of their players. But yeah, if we look at these forms, I mean, South Korea won 3 in a row off the back end of their qualifying, which is a good sign for them. But to be honest, I think outside of Son, they don't have an elite team anymore. And I don't think Son is. I think he's maybe now borderline world class to great player, and I don't think he's at that bona fide superstar level that he was a few years ago, where he could um, carry South Korea on his shoulders to a respectable finish at the tournament. So yeah, I do think I have South Africa finishing first. I know that's a bit controversial, but yeah, I do have them finishing first. And I do think Denmark will come in second and Mexico in third. I mean, Denmark is usually consistent in these tournaments, even though they're not one of the big name teams. Obviously, as you can see, they're not qualified in the World Cup. Excuse me. Yeah, and they're going to have to come through a playoff spot. But yeah, I do think they have the squad and the coaching and the experience to pull through and finish second in this group. So yeah, I will put Denmark in this group at second. Just whenever you see this, just listen to what team I'm talking about so you don't get confused. And yeah, I do think Mexico will finish in third. I mean, they've got a respectable team with the likes of Edson Alvarez, Raul Jimenez, who's playing at Fulham, I believe now, and obviously the super wonder kid Gilberto Mora, who has just come up now. I think he's like 16 or 17 now. And yeah, I do think Mexico, obviously, they've got a very passionate fan base. I mean, from where I live, obviously, I know that. And yeah, I do think that they will finish third. I'm I'm not 100% sure if they will come through. I need to think about that later in this bracket, like if they'll qualify as a third place team, because I need to see who else I have finishing third. But yeah, I do think that's my Group A rankings. And for Group B, we have Canada, a playoff spot, playoff A, and Qatar and Switzerland. Now, of this playoff spot, we have Italy and Wales and a bunch of other countries. I believe those other countries are actually like they're not big name countries, obviously. And we've got Qatar, Switzerland. Switzerland obviously ranked at world rank 18 currently. And yeah, I do think I have Italy finishing first in this group. I know I can't really. There's no point in really predicting Italy to do well anymore because they failed us so many times. Obviously, they got grouped in 2014, didn't qualify for the last two after that, and I mean their world rank has probably declined a lot. I'm assuming they're around 15 maybe. They used to be top three quite easily, but actually I do have them finishing first in this group. I do think that their coach should be able to get even as much production as he can out of that team. So yeah, and I do believe, and the rest of their competition with the likes of Wales, with the likes of the other teams they're competing with, like Bosnia, they're not really the strongest teams. So Yeah, I do believe that Italy will finish first in that spot, and I do actually have Canada. I do actually have Canada finishing second. They've got a good team with Jonathan David, obviously, who's at Juventus at the moment, and Alphonso Davies, obviously, who just recovered from his ACL injury, which he suffered last season, and he's coming back to playing with Bayern. And yeah, I mean, it's it's really tough to bet on Canada because obviously maybe the rest of their squad is not the strongest, but when you do have two top level players like that, like Jonathan David and Alphonso Davies, you do really, it does really like, I guess, motivate the other players in a way, like, and obviously David and Davies are going to inspire and lead the rest of the team in the right direction. So yeah, I mean, obviously, it's hard to bet on Northern Ireland. It's hard to bet on Bosnia. I mean, you could predict Wales to come through um, in this playoff spot, but it's just, I mean, it's hard to imagine Italy not qualifying for a third straight World Cup. Like, if that happens, then I'll have to eat my words. But I don't know. I just don't know if I can see it happening with the quality players they got. Obviously, they've got Bastoni, one of the best center backs in the world. Barella, I believe he's a top 3 to 5 midfielder in the world currently. They've got so many talented players, obviously. So, yeah, I think they should definitely finish first in this group. Otherwise, it would just be such a disappointment. It's one of the biggest footballing countries in history. So, yeah, like I said, I've got Canada finishing second. And Switzerland, it's hard to predict Canada or Switzerland because I don't know. I just feel like they're so similar, but like similar in terms of level, but like so opposite. Like Switzerland have got decent side with likes of Jose Vargas, or not Jose Vargas. I forget that guy's name. Vargas. He scored a great goal against Italy in the last Euros. Ndoye, obviously, who plays in Serie A. Shaqiri, obviously, who's one of their probably maybe their most well-known player or like biggest name player. So I don't know. I mean I could see a world where I put Switzerland finishing third. I mean I don't know. I just don't know if I can see it happening this tournament, to be honest. And obviously Qatar finishing fourth. Don't expect them to do much this tournament. Group C, we have Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland. As you can see, these are world rankings. Brazil in 5, Morocco shoots all the way up to 8. I don't think a single African country has ever been in the top 10. If it's happened, it's been for a very short time, I'm assuming. And yeah, Haiti 83rd, Scotland 38, which is actually fairly respectable. In Scotland, they've got some talented players, the likes of Billy Gilmore, Andy Robertson. Obviously, they've all got a lot of experience playing. Robertson for Liverpool has played in so many big matches. He's going to be an important leader in that dressing room. But it just, do you think the woes with Brazil will continue with Ancelotti? I mean, this is a tough between Brazil and Morocco because I think Morocco is a top side. I think they've got some outstanding young players, and one of them who I'm going to talk about later. And yeah, their performance in that AFCON final was heartbreaking. Obviously, Brahim missing the penalty, but I'm sure Brahim Diaz will come back with a vengeance. In this World Cup. I know he's a really talented player, and yeah, I just think Morocco they've built up a team of like solid elite level European players. Obviously, headlined by Hakimi, who you could make the argument is the best right back in the world. I definitely believe that, and yeah, it just yeah, do you think Brazil will continue to flounder? That's the main question. And to be honest, I don't know if I see that happen. Do I, though? I mean, I don't know if Ancelotti's the king at managing egos. I think he's going to get this Brazil team back on track. I think he's going to like manage the egos of Vinicius, Rodrigo, and another young player who I'm going to talk about later. I think he's going to get them all gelling. Even though I don't know how this. The main question I have with this Brazil team in going into this 2026 World Cup is like how they can is their balance, because I feel like they're very top heavy at this moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like with so many attacking like big name attacking talents. Like I don't know if they have the defensive stability. Obviously, what's their back line going to look like? You probably got Militao, Gabriel, who in my opinion, for my money, is the best center back in the world. obviously I'm an Arsenal fan, but still, I think many would agree with me on that. Their left back is gonna be who's Brazil's left back? Child, I'm blanking. I can't think about it. But yeah, they've definitely got a solid team, but it's Brazil. I mean, can you count them out of a World Cup? I mean, obviously it hasn't gone smoothly for them last couple tournaments, but will it be Neymar's last dance? That's the main question. Like, we got to wait and see. And obviously Morocco finishing in second. I think they could still make a big run at this tournament. Obviously they're going to have a tough matchup where you might see them playing like a Netherlands or a Belgium or one of these other top 10 ranked teams. But I think they'll be able to hold their own, honestly. I think Morocco is a really solid team, and obviously Scotland and Haiti. I don't think there's any real surprises in this group. I think this is a pretty, like, most people would predict this how it's going to go. I mean, some people would have Morocco above Brazil because of how Brazil's been performing recently and how they're not the Brazil of old. But I still think that they've got a solid enough foundation. Now bringing in Carlo Ancelotti, who's one of the best ego managers of all time, and Brazil has a lot of egos in their current team, and I think if they solve that problem on that team, then it'll definitely give them a better shot of going farther in this tournament. So, yeah, I do think that's how this group is going to go. And then in Group D, we have one of the host nations, USA, and Paraguay, Australia, and this playoff Group C, which is between Turkey, Romania, Slovakia, and Kosovo. Now, I do think Turkey will come through. I think Turkey is one of my... I like them a lot, honestly. I do think Turkey can make a big run at this tournament. They've got so many talented players, two in particular who are the forefront and two of the biggest young stars in world football, but they've obviously got so many other talented players. So, I mean, do I think Turkey will finish first? It's all going to come down to that Turkey-US game. And I do think the home fans will propel. If that game's at home, then I think U.S. will finish first. I think they've got a decent team now. I genuinely think the U.S. have got a good footballing side assembled now where they're not just a joke that people like to meme. So, yeah, I do think they'll finish first. Obviously, Christian Pulisic has been playing amazing football this season. He looks like one of the better wingers in the world. Weston McKennie, Florian Balogun, who's always been a good striker in Europe and a very talented one. And, yeah, Tim Weah, Matt Turner. They've got a solid team of elite level of European level pedigree players. So yeah, I got U.S. in first, Turkey in second. I mean, they've just got so much young talent, like I said before. Australia. The real question will be Australia and Paraguay. I mean, Australia is significantly higher in the world rankings, 27 to Paraguay's 40. And I do think it's going to be that way in the World Cup. I do think they'll finish ahead. I mean, Australia, they just have more experience under this sort of pressure. And I guess that's what it comes down to for some of these teams, like in the 20 to 40 region, is just how much experience do you have under your belt? Because you may not have the talent of the top 15-ish sides. So you're going to need like those experienced and obviously talented players to help you and propel you forward, because a lot of times those guys who played in Europe for all these smaller countries are really the flag bearers for them, you know? So yeah, that's what I got for Group D. And next up, for Group E, we have got Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, and Germany. Now, oh shoot, I'm going to have to reset this one. I think I will have obviously Germany finishing first. What's their world ranking right now? Germany's world ranking is currently 10th. Ecuador 23rd. I think Ecuador's a good side, but honestly, I have a controversial take. I mean, I do think Cote d'Ivoire will finish second. I absolutely love their team. I love Amad Diallo. I love Ousmane Diomande. I think he's one of the more underrated young center backs in world football at the moment for Sporting. And Ahmad has always been one of my favorite players in the Prem. I think he's one of the best wingers in the Prem also. I think he's massively underrated. And I think you can make the argument he's United's best player. And, yeah, I mean, I do have Ecuador finishing third, and I do have Curacao finishing fourth. I mean, I think this is a pretty standard group other than the second and third pick. But I do think, I mean, obviously AFCON this year was one of the best AFCONs we've seen due to like the level of players. We've had so many superstar players coming through. And I just think what I saw, even though they didn't make it as far as people would have hoped, as their fans would have hoped, the performances I saw from Ahmad and Diomande were really good. So I think they're gonna have to be big for Cote d'Ivoire to make it far, which I think they will be, and I think Cote d'Ivoire will make it far, or Ivory Coast, excuse me. So yeah, that's my Group E predictions. And Group F. Now, this is actually one of, in my opinion, the toughest groups because I I have a feeling it's going to be Poland out of that playoff spot between Ukraine, Sweden, Albania, and Poland. I do think Poland. It's going to be between Poland and Sweden, I would say. But I do think Poland, with that experience they've had with Lewandowski, I think is going to be huge for them. But do I think Sweden though? Maybe Sweden actually, maybe because they've got Isak Gyökeres. I mean, but I don't know. I can't trust Sweden. So I think yeah, I'm gonna have to say Poland on that one. And this is a really strong group in my opinion. I mean, Netherlands are one of my favorite teams. I love Tijani Reinders actually. He's one of my favorite players. I love Jeremy Frimpong. Obviously, unfortunate that he's suffered with injuries this year for Liverpool. But I love him so much. I love his pace and what he offers down that right hand side as a wing back. Depay for Netherlands is always a big player. Gakpo for Netherlands is always a big player. They've obviously got Van Dijk. Jarell Hatu, who I think is one of the best young center backs in the world, or young defenders in the world. And yeah, I love their midfield with Reinders, De Jong, Depay maybe sort of a bit advanced so they could play a two eights and a 10 maybe, or if you want to drop Reinders a bit deeper. But I think Reinders is a best box to box midfielder that Netherlands has. So yeah, I do think Netherlands. They're one of I look out for them to be at least in the quarterfinals, maybe semifinals. I need to think about that, but yeah, I do think Netherlands will finish first, and I do think Japan will finish second. I mean, I also love their team. I do love some of the players they've had. They have. I mean, Mitoma. He's one of my favorite players. I do think he suffered with injuries this year, I believe, for Brighton, so he's not played as much as I would have liked, but I love watching him play. I love Ritsu Doan. I love, what's his name? Endo whenever he plays for Japan. I don't know. I think they've got a really solid team. And Tomiyasu, obviously, so many experienced players who are going to lead them and teach the young players how it's like to play at the World Cup. And obviously, I believe they're ranked around 19, so they've been playing well as of late. As we can see, the recent form, they've won 3 in a row. Netherlands has been on fire. They've not lost in the last 5. And I do like Tunisia, but I mean, we haven't seen it much from them at this level. So I do think I got Sweden ahead of them. But I mean, I do like Tunisia. I mean, they've got some talented young players. I believe, like, I don't know, they usually have Tunisia, if you know, they're one of those countries that usually have talented players. They have, what's his name, Hannibal, who used to play for United. They've got some really talented players, but yeah, it's really gonna be tough for them because this group is, in my opinion, really good, like really good. But they've got that they've got talents. They've got a couple PSG talents as well. Like they'll be able to hold their own, and their fans should be proud because they're gonna put up a fight this tournament. But the rest of this group is really strong, so I think they're gonna finish last. But Tunisia fans, you guys are gonna have a good time. And Group G, I mean, I think this is also an underrated strong one. Like, obviously Belgium's been red hot. I mean, Doku is been on fire. I do think Belgium is going to be better this tournament. I do think their next generation is actually amazing. I mean, Doku, obviously, Romeo Lavia, whenever he plays, is one of my favorite midfielders to watch. I love him a lot. Obviously, this could be De Bruyne and Lukaku's last dance, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they've got Openda, Courtois, the best goalkeeper in the world, and maybe, in my opinion, the second best shot stopper of all time, pure shot stopper behind Neuer. And yeah, Iran as well, like very respectable rankings here. 9, 20, 31, 85 for New Zealand. But I mean, New Zealand, they're more of a cricket nation, if you know. But like these 3 countries, I mean, this is one of the best groups we've had. I'd say Group E is good, Group these three consecutive are actually good. And so yeah, I would say I would have Belgium topping the group. Obviously, I mean, yeah, like I said, Doku's just been stunning this year for City. Um, and will this be Mo Salah's last dance? But obviously, many say they've found his heir in Omar Marmoush, Manchester City man. And yeah, I do think that firepower will definitely propel them to a second or a third place. I mean, they haven't really tasted. I do think Iran because Egypt, they haven't really tasted this stage for a while, and I don't think Salah's at, similar to what I said about Son. I don't think Salah's. I'm obviously they have Marmoush now, but that's not going to be enough. They don't. Salah's not at that level anymore where he can just put the team on his back and bring them to at least the round of 16 or at least a second place finish. I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think they can make it possibly as a third place team. So this group pretty straightforward. But I mean, I wouldn't be totally surprised if Egypt finished second. I mean, Salah, you never know. And I love Marmoush as well too. I think he's a massively underrated player for City. And for Egypt, his performances have been good too recently. So yeah, that's my Group G predictions. And now we're on to Group H. Now this group is, wow, this is a heater of a group, honestly. I mean, you got the number one ranked team in the world, Spain. I mean, like, their form. Look, this last 5 games they haven't lost, similar to Netherlands. Uruguay, one of my favorite teams. Obviously, I love Fede Valverde. I mean, he, in my opinion, he's one of, if not maybe the best, when he plays in midfield, the best box-to-box midfielder in the world. I mean, Saudi Arabia is a respectable team, but they're respectable for sure. Obviously, nobody can forget that game against Argentina. But, I mean, can we really... Spain quite easily. They won't lose a game. I think they'll win every game here 2-0, 3-0. That game against Uruguay will probably be like a 1-0 scrappy win maybe for Spain, unless they really completely overpower Uruguay. But I think against that Valverde team, it's going to be hard because I love Federico Valverde. And I'm interested to see if he plays where he plays. I think he's definitely going to have to play midfield because they're going to need his goal scoring. So, yeah, Spain first, Uruguay second, Saudi Arabia third, and Cabo Verde fourth. Pretty straightforward here in Group H. And now, my personal favorite group in the World Cup, Group I. And the reason behind this is that I simply love all three of these teams. I mean, Senegal, obviously, you've seen how well they've been playing recently. Last 5 games they've won. All these teams have been red hot. Obviously, Norway with that iconic win against Italy a few months ago. France, for my money, is the best team in the world. I know they're world ranked number 3, but I think on paper, and I think going into this World Cup, they are my top dog as of now. Like, I just think Kylian Mbappe, once he gets into the World Cup, he's a different breed. He's a killer in the World Cup. So, yeah, I mean, I do think France will be the team to beat this World Cup. And in this playoff spot, I do think it's going to be between Iraq, Bolivia, and Suriname. I do think it'll be Iraq. I mean, they're not a crazy team. They're decent in Asian qualifying, but yeah, quite easily I've got France, Senegal, Norway. It'll be interesting. I really want to see how Holland performs under the pressure of the World Cup, and Martin Odegaard as well too. Those two will be a duo to watch together in Group I. And also as well too, Senegal. I mean, you saw the football they played in the AFCON. I mean, they're one of my favorite teams. Papa Gueye, that goal in the final was special. He is a beast in midfield along with so many other talented players. They've got a team with Iliman Ndiaye, one of the best dribblers in the Premier League. Yeah, they've got a team over there. And yeah, look out for this group. I think it's the best group in the World Cup. Look out. This is where the best football in the World Cup is going to be played, in this group. So if you're a football fan, watch this group. Now, Group J. Personally, my favorite team is in this World Cup because Argentina, and they have the best player of all time, Lionel Messi. And obviously, I do want them. They've been in great form. I do want them to go far, but I'm not like rooting for them like I did last World Cup because Messi got his World Cup already. But obviously I still like rooting for them, but not the same way I was last time. But if they make it far, I'm gonna root for them all the way. And Algeria, they've got one of my favorite players in the World Cup, who we're gonna talk about later. And they've also got what's his name? Luka Zidane, the biggest nepo baby in world football. Yeah, their team is just, they've got so many young stars. I mean, Ibo Maza from Bayer Leverkusen, who I said just now is gonna be the young player to look out for. I think he's one of the young players to watch in this tournament. And alongside him, for my young players to watch in the tournament, I have Yildiz and Arda Güler. And assuming Turkey qualify for this World Cup, they're two of my favorite young players in the world. They're certainly top five. I think around 4-2, they're in that range. Ryan Cherki, I mean, for France, I hope he plays because for me, he's a real throwback number 10. And he's one of those players that I like to watch. Like, you don't see players like that anymore who just pick up the ball and create moments of magic and are just they dance on the ball. Because now with the modern system of football, like tactics and, rigid formations, pass here, move here. Like it's almost robotic in a way, and I just love watching Ryan Cherki play, and just how he's so old school in his number 10 play. I mean, for Esteval, who's another one I'd written down, I mean, not much has to be said. We've been told for years now that Esteval was the next coming of Neymar, and obviously this season, what he's been able to do at Chelsea, I've actually been really impressed with him. And I do think he should be getting so many more minutes. I do think he was getting treated disrespectfully by Maresca, and hopefully Liam Resenier treats him a little bit better for the rest of the season and gives him more minutes to integrate him better, because we need to see what Esteval can do at this level, because he's such a big talent and he needs to be getting more game time, I think. But yeah, and my next shout for young players to watch out for is Bilal El Khanous from Morocco. Bit of a rogue shout. I know maybe he's not at the level of the other guys I said, but I watched him at Africa and I thought he was so good for Morocco, man, as a number 10. I think he's similar to Ryan Cherki. He's a bit of a throwback number 10. Similar to what I said about Ibo Maza. Ibo Maza is one of those players, by the way, for Algeria. He's a number 10 as well. He plays for Bayer Leverkusen, for those who don't know. He is an extremely talented number 10. He is a throwback. He's really a brilliant dribbler, close control, passing vision, and also got a brilliant strike as well. Similar with Bilal El Khanous. He plays for Leicester, I believe, in the championship, and I do think he's going to get a transfer, either probably this summer to like a La Liga team, from what I've heard is the reports, or even a Liga 1 team, or even a Prem team. I don't know. There's so many destinations for him. But yeah, those are my young players to watch for the tournament. And now let's continue on with our rankings. And like I said before, we're on Group J. And yeah, Algeria and Austria is a real conflicting point for me. And I do think I have Algeria. From what I saw, Ibo Mazda, hopefully he continues developing this year at Leverkusen, because I love his game. And obviously Argentina first. They're going to win every single game. They have arguably, you could even say still, the best player in the world in terms of ability, and Lionel Messi. What a general talent he is. Like, probably the most talented player of all time, quite easily, in football history. He is just insane. Like, he's just a magician still. So yeah, but the real question I have is, like I said before, Algeria second. But I mean Jordan. I've been actually really impressed with Jordan. They've been playing well in qualifying, and I almost kind of want to pick them, because I do think that they're gonna be a real dark horse to watch out for this tournament. Jordan. And I can't do it. I don't think it's like their first World Cup appearance ever, or not ever, but I don't think ever, but in a while at least. Not in this century they made it, I don't think. And I just can't. I don't know. You need to have that experience, like I've said so many times in this video. You need to have that experience to do well in the World Cup. So I do think that's fair for Jordan. Although don't be surprised if they finish above Austria. I wouldn't put it past them to do that. And in Group K, we have Argentina's next door rivals, or not next door, direct rivals, Portugal. I mean, this is Ronaldo's last dance. I can almost guarantee you that. Even if I don't even know if he'll play. Actually, it's not confirmed, but I'm assuming he will to try to get that World Cup. But yeah, it's there. I mean, I do think Portugal will finish first. Obviously, I love Nuno Mendes. I think he's the best left back in the world, and I think he should have been top 5 in Ballon d'Or voting. I think he was one of the 5 best players in the world last season, and he won every single thing. Had so many big moments, and I do think Leao, in my opinion, is one of, if not the most talented left wingers in the world in world football. Like when Leao is on it, bro, forget about it. But we haven't seen that in a while for whatever reason. And I just hope he gets back to that level of and consistency where we can see the Rafael Leao, who's arguably the best left winger in the world. And but Colombia, man, Colombia, they've got a great team. Obviously, they got the likes of another one of my young players to watch out for, Kendry Paez. I do think Kendry Paez from Colombia, I believe he's signed for Chelsea and he's going to move there this season. He is another one of those players. Obviously, you can see a recurring theme with my young players to watch. Don't think that I just like attacking players. This is my type of player. Like those number 10s and wingers that just like to get on the ball, dance, make things happen, flair, goal scoring, like long strikes, beautiful football. That's what I like to watch. That's my type of football. Even though it's not really been like that during my generation, but I want it to be like that. And yeah, I do think. Do I think Colombia will finish ahead of Portugal though? Nah, I can't say that. But Colombia, don't be surprised if they make sneak through quarterfinals. I mean, obviously that'd be a shock, but don't be surprised if they draw, even if they draw like a Spain or something. Don't be surprised if they make a deep run. Like it shouldn't be completely surprising. They got, obviously, like I said, they even have James Rodriguez. James Rodriguez. He's one of the most legendary players, and probably Colombia's most legendary player. And he's gonna be key, not only on the pitch but off the pitch for this team. And it's really like iffy between all this. I feel like because obviously the playoff spot, we don't need to worry about that. I believe it's New Caledonia, DR Congo, and Jamaica. I do think Jamaica, I mean, they've got a respectable side. You could say, I think I will have Jamaica finishing above Uzbekistan, to be honest. But I don't know if I can say that. Yeah, Uzbekistan third, Jamaica fourth. But as I was saying, James Rodriguez is going to be key for Colombia in this tournament. Not only on the pitch, but off the pitch. Because obviously that 2014 World Cup, which was probably the peak of his career, and just he was the best player in that tournament alongside Cruz and Messi and maybe Robin as well too. But he was James, and obviously Kendry Paez. I'm telling you guys once again, he is going to be big in this tournament for Colombia. I have a feeling, and I do think he will be one of the best South American players at this tournament, alongside Messi, Moises Caicedo. I know I'm forgetting a lot. Valverde, Vinicius, Rodrigo. He'll be one. I think he could get to that level in this tournament. Play like that in this tournament. I mean. So yeah, on to Group L. We have England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. Obviously, England, they've won all of the last 5 games. I do think pencil them in for a semifinal, but I'm not going to predict anything past that because it's unpredictable with England. Will it come home? We'll find out, but I don't know. I don't know if I can see it happening. But I do think they'll finish first, and I do think Croatia will finish second. I do think that's a comfortable 1-2 punch. And Ghana, I'm surprised they're so low as 72 because they got Mo Kudus. They've got, I'm sure, a lot of talented players I'm not thinking of at this moment. But Kudus, one of the best wingers in the Premier League. Obviously, maybe not having his what people had expected him to have season at Spurs. But he's great. But Panama's that high is surprising. Let's look at their last 5 fixtures. Ghana has won 3 out of 5. Panama has also won 3 out of 5, but they've drawn. And I do think, from what I've seen, I've watched a few of their games in the Americas qualifying, and they have played good football. Like they play exciting football, even though they don't have big name players like compared to Kudus. They I can't even name you one like a few players from Panama, bro. I can't even lie. Like maybe Carrasquilla, that's like one I know. Uh, they also have like Blackman, Harvey. I mean, they've got a few players. And is what's his name? Murillo from? Is Murillo from? No, Murillo's from Brazil. Hey, Murillo, look out for him in Brazil though. I think he's gonna be him next to. I think him next to Gabriel should be the starting partnership. Murillo is one of the best up and coming defenders in world football, and I thought he would get. I think he's gonna get signed by a big team this summer. But anyways, on to the knockouts. I believe we're done. We're done with the groups. So we have to pick best third place teams. We have to pick 8 third place teams to advance to the round of 32. So which are the strongest teams here? Now I just don't. I'm gonna actually think about this one here. So Mexico for sure, Switzerland for sure. Those two are locks. They have the experience and they have talent. I do think Ecuador, because Caicedo is going to be able to dictate that midfield. They have, I'm forgetting that other guy's name, the striker, who's really good, who's a really good player as well too. Valencia, I think that's his name. Maybe something else. Ener Valencia, yeah. And so I do think Norway. I do think they've got a good team. Antonio Nusa, he's another young player to look out for, actually. Antonio Nusa of Norway. So that's 4 teams we have. We need to pick 4 more. This is tough. I can't put Sweden in that category, I don't think. But I do think Sweden will make it. Actually, I do think they're Scotland as well too. Australia or Egypt? Egypt as well too, and Austria, I think. But I do think these will be the 8 teams that will make it through as third place teams. Now we're going to pick our knockouts. First game of the knockouts. I'm going to spend a bit less time on this. First game of the knockouts. We've got Germany versus Scotland. Now this will be an interesting team because obviously Germany will have Jamal Musiala back. And I do think Germany will take this win. Pencil it in for, 3-1. I think that's fairly reasonable. Scotland have got a good defensive record, actually, with the likes of Robertson and Billy Gilmore as a 6. But, yeah, I do think... Oh, sorry, that was an accident. Yeah, France will go through in this game. I'm forgetting who we have in this playoff B spot. But yeah, France, whichever team this is, you could kind of pencil it in for what's it called? Maybe like 5-0. I'd say is fair. 4-5-0 in this game. It's gonna be happening in New York on June 30th. By the way, people, if you want to buy tickets. But yeah, I'd say 4-0 maybe is a fair win. As we can scroll down, we can see Canada will be playing. They will be playing the playoff Group D team, which I'm actually not sure. I think it will be Slovakia, Kosovo, Turkey, Romania, and I do think Turkey will win this one, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I do have Turkey winning this game, and I don't know. It's a bit iffy because their defense maybe isn't as like strong as you might want. Like they don't have any big name or young up and coming defenders. But they're attacking. They're a good attacking side. Like with the likes of Yildiz, who I would imagine will be playing maybe on that left, and Goulier maybe as a right winger or 10. But it's really tough to predict the score too, which I'm trying to do here. That's why it's taking so long. By the way, the France game is between. They're gonna be playing Sweden in that game. So yeah. I'm trying to predict the score. I'd say 2-1. 2-1 Turkey in this game. And the next game we have in Houston on 29th of June on Monday will be Netherlands versus Morocco. Now this will be a great game, guys. Great football. Both these teams play great football. Obviously, you have total football on one side, and the Morocco, I don't know what they call their style, but it's a very entertaining style, that's for sure. And I do think Netherlands come away with this win. Maybe you could. I think 1-1 goes to penalty, goes to extra time. They win in extra time in this game, but it's really unfortunate for Morocco because it's really tough though. Morocco could make it. This is a 50-50, and I do think Netherlands will come away with the win. But this is a 50-50. You could go either way. Like Morocco could easily make a semifinals, not semifinals, quarterfinals in this tournament. Maybe even semifinals, but I didn't want to say easily. So, yeah, Netherlands will be playing Sweden in the next round alongside Germany and France. And that's going to be a brilliant game. And next up, we have Colombia against Croatia. Now, I don't think I need to spend too much time on this game. I do think Croatia, if Luka Modric is still playing like the best player in Serie A, which you could argue he is between him and Yildiz, Croatia can do anything they want to if he's controlling games the way he is at 40 years old, which just still puzzles me to this day. And I do think pencil this in for a 2-1 win. A 2-1 win for Croatia. You could even say 3-2 maybe. And next up we have in LA on 2nd of July, Spain versus Algeria. Now, this we don't really need to spend too much time on. I know I talked about Ibo Maza and Algerian side, but I'm sorry, Algerian fans. Like, you came up against arguably the best team in the world, and you're not going to make it. So, yep, Spain goes through to the quarterfinals against Croatia. Next up, we got USA versus Switzerland. Now, this game will be a close one, I think. I do want to say the U.S. will win. They've got the home crowd. They've got Christian Pulisic playing at a borderline world-class level. And they've got a better style of play than Switzerland. Because whenever I watch Switzerland, I feel like they kind of rely on individual moments. I don't know if they have a very collective style of play, but U.S., I've seen them play good football as a team. So, like Switzerland, they rely on moments from Vargas or Ndoye or just random player, like any given player on their team. So, yeah, I do think U.S. goes through here, and they will be playing the winner of Belgium and Mexico in Seattle. And that will be a good, interesting game to watch. But it will be interesting to see the how Mexico fans, how many Mexican fans there are in that stadium. But yeah, I do think Belgium. I do think Doku will absolutely terrorize whoever he's going up against, and I think he's definitely gonna score at least a goal in that game. And yeah, I do think De Bruyne will. They just have more individual brilliance on their team, and they have a more compact style of play with players like De Bruyne. They're able to keep the ball better than Mexico can, and they also have better individual players for more individual moments of magic. So, Belgium, not much needs to be said, and Brazil versus Japan. Now this is another really, really interesting game. And I think it would be a really interesting game to watch the contest between these two teams. But, Japan, they're kind of known as, like, the giant killers, you know? But, like, I can't see it happening. Sorry, Japanese fans, but I can't see it happening this tournament. I don't think they have enough firepower for Brazil. I think Rodrigo scores a goal in this game. And I do think the formation that Brazil should be playing is Rodrigo as maybe a 10. I think Rodrigo as a 10. Vinny on the left. Endrick up top, I'd say. Or whoever they want to play up top. Endrick, I'd say, should probably be starting there. Esteva on the right. Because Rodrigo as a 10, he's brilliant as a 10. So play Rodrigo as a 10. Please, Ancelotti, please play Rodrigo as a 10 or a left winger. Don't play him on the right. Please, he's wasted so much of his career doing that. Please don't do it. But yeah, Brazil goes through, and they will be playing Senegal. I love Cote d'Ivoire. I love Ahmed and Diomande, but Senegal they're one of the best teams in the world, flat out. While I think Ivory Coast, they're just one of the best teams in Africa, but not maybe at the global level yet. And South Africa versus Ecuador. I think South Africa, they're very new to this stage. They're not going to be able to deal with Caicedo, and Caicedo is just going to dominate the midfield on them. And they're not going to have a response really against, even I think Ecuador has players like Sarmiento, who's actually played in the Premier League. He's a good player. Obviously, I think Ener Valencia. They've got some really good players. Estupinian. Yeah, they've actually got a decent side, and I think they're like pretty high in the world rankings right now. And England, they will be playing England in the next round, which will actually be in Mexico City, which will be fun. Ecuador is gonna have the fans behind them, so we'll never know. And we're gonna have Argentina versus Uruguay, which is gonna be a full-on like brawl, pretty much. They're gonna be like Valverde and De Paul are gonna be like punching each other out there, bro. But like, yeah, Argentina takes the cake. This game, I'd say, is gonna be a grueling 1-0 win. Messi gets the winner. Yeah, that's really gonna be really gonna be a tough game for them, to be honest. But you're really gonna be a tough game for Argentina, to be honest. But I do think they'll come away with the win here, and it will be a 1-0 win. Messi gets the winner in this game, and yeah, that's my prediction for that game. And then we got playoff Group C versus Iran. Now, I do need to check who is in the playoff group because I kind of forgot who's in this playoff group. So, in playoff Group C, we have the playoff Group C does consist of I believe. Okay, yeah. So it does. Yeah. So Iran's definitely gonna win this game, I believe. Pencil them in for maybe like a 2-1. I mean, they have Taremi, who's obviously a good goal scorer, but yeah, they've definitely got their work cut out for them. Yeah, it's gonna be really tough. Oh yes, sorry about that. Like playoff group, the B one is one's actually Sweden. So Sweden was the one that actually lost to France. Sorry, it's a little bit confusing, not gonna lie, because I can't really remember like that. But yeah. So sorry about that, guys. So yeah, we do have Turkey versus Iran, and I do have Turkey going through. Yildiz and Goulet both get goals in a 2-0 win. How about that? How about that for a prediction? Now, my predictions aren't all going to be right because I've gotten a lot of predictions wrong, but we're not going to talk about that. So, yeah, Turkey goes through to play Argentina in Atlanta. That's going to be a good location. And we do also have, next up, we do have playoff A versus Egypt in Vancouver. BC Place, Vancouver, which I'm going to assume is the stadium in Vancouver. So it's going to be Italy versus Egypt in this game. So, I mean, can I bank on? I'm not gonna think too much. It's Italy. If I die on the hill of thinking Italy is gonna beat Egypt, then I'm fine being that guy. That's on them, not me. Like I shouldn't be the one getting it wrong there. You know what I mean, right? So yeah, pencil Italy in there for a win. Barella gets a goal from midfield in a 1-0 win. It's gonna be defensive. Obviously, Italy's known for defending, and yep, 1-0 win. Portugal versus Norway. Portugal is going to go through. Ronaldo's going to get a goal in this game. They're going to win 3-1, I think. 3-1 or 4-1. So, yeah, I think that is all of our quarterfinal games. And now we're going to predict, or that is all of our round of 16 games, excuse me. And now we are going to predict the quarterfinals. Germany versus France. Now, this one is pretty hard to predict because these are arguably the two, biggest, most, iconic footballing countries, you could say, make that argument in ever. And they've got so much history in World Cups. So France more as of late, to be honest, and Germany not so much as of late. So it's kind of contrast, But I do think France will get this win. Like I said, Mbappe in World Cups is too much. Elise, you can make the argument, is the best right winger in the world alongside Saka and Lamine, and not Salah anymore. And obviously they, like I said, Cherki. They've got so many brilliant players like Jules Koundé, Chouameni. The center back duo is gonna be Saliba and maybe Upamecano. I think I would say it should be the center back partnership. And Jules Koundé, like I said, second best right back in the world, back to Hakimi. And you've got, who's gonna be playing on the left? No, Mbappe can play on the left. Up top, though, Thuram, I'd say. Thuram probably up top. He's also really underrated. I love Thuram. Yeah, France goes through in this game. And then playoff D, we have Denmark versus Netherlands. Now, Denmark versus Netherlands. Netherlands goes through in this game. And Depay and Reinders score in this game, I'd say. Croatia versus Spain. What are we saying about Croatia versus Spain? Now, Spain. Nah, what am I even? I'm just doing this for the fun of it. Spain goes through. Croatia, I love you guys so much. I love Luka Modric so much. It's probably going to be his last World Cup match that he ever plays. Lost to Spain. Lamine and Nico Williams get goals. Pedri gets both assists. How about that? How's that for a prediction? Watch. Come back to this video when that prediction's right. Nah, I'm just lying. But, yeah. USA versus Belgium. Ooh, interesting matchup. But Belgium takes the cake here. They've got more individual brilliance, better possession, better ability to keep the possession of the ball. Yeah, they're just a better overall side. But if you tell me that home field advantage plays in, I mean, hey, can't argue with it too much. But we continue. Brazil versus Senegal. I think Brazil gets, but this one could come back to haunt me. But Brazil, I think Rodrigo scores a goal here. They win 1-0 to win the match. And Ecuador versus England. England goes through. 3-0 win. Saka twice and Bellingham on the score sheet. Argentina versus, Turkey. Ooh, no, I'm just overthinking it I'm just for the views, bro. But yeah, Argentina goes through. This could be a tight one, but maybe Messi gets the win. I'd say Messi and Alvarez on the score sheet here. Or maybe just Alvarez. I don't know. Messi might be playing more of a 10 role in this game. He doesn't score. You tell me that happens, I wouldn't argue. And then we have playoff spot A versus Portugal, which is going to be Italy versus Portugal. So, yep, this is where the Italy run ends. It could end a lot earlier, but, yep, they lose to Portugal. So we are going to have an Argentina-Portugal quarterfinal. That is going to be crazy. So, yep, we predict now we're on to the quarterfinals. France beats Netherlands in a 2-1 win. I think Mbappe scores both. Spain versus Belgium. I think Spain wins this one here. And the next matchup is Brazil versus England. Brazil versus England, the main event. England goes through. I think they beat Brazil here. I'm going to be honest. It's not Brazil of old. Argentina versus Portugal. Oof. And here we go. Main event. That's what you guys all came for. My prediction of maybe the biggest game of our era. And my prediction is Argentina goes through. I think Messi scores the winner. He goes to celebrate in front of Ronaldo. Well, that would be crazy, right? That would be actually crazy. And now we're on to the semifinals. The 4 best teams in the World Cup in the semifinals. Spain and France and Argentina and England. I think France beats Spain. I think this could be a 4-3 game. We saw what happened the last 2 times these teams play each other. The best 2 attacking teams in the world. But Kylian Mbappe is going to be too much for the Spaniards to handle in this game. I do think he is the best player in the world, and he will dominate Spain this game. But it could go. That one could go either way because because Spain might be the best team in the world. And our other semifinal, England versus Argentina. This game, Saka opens the scoring for England. Then Messi is going to score, and he's going to knock him out. He's going to score 2, and then England's going to lose. Once again, they're going to get their hearts broken. So we have a rematch of the France-Argentina final. And this game is going to be won by France this time. Kylian Mbappe is going to be too much for the Argentinians to handle. He is going to run right on them, and he's going to score the winner in this final. So, there you have it. My World Cup winner is France. So, when they win the World Cup on the 19th of July on Sunday, come back to this video and leave a comment and leave a like and tell me you were right. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please leave your comments. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. I love to look at what you guys have, like, feedback you guys have for me, like on if you think I was right or wrong or what you guys think is gonna happen, because I just love talking about football. I don't really care if I'm wrong. I just like talking about it. So drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.